everyone, welcome to Halloween yoga. This is my first time doing anything like this, and also my first time recording in New York City in my boyfriend's bedroom. There's not really much room or space in the apartment, so this is kind of the one I have right now. But I wanted to put out some new content, so I hope you won't mind kind of awkward setup and angles that you'll get, but hopefully you'll still be able to follow along and my cueing will be helpful. So I am coming from, like I said, New York City. It's a Friday night. So given the time of the day, I'm going to do a more gentle kind of, not so much of a flow, probably more hatha based. So we'll be holding the poses for longer. I'm going to put a little fun spin on it since it is October 29th. Halloween is 2 days away. So we're going to get started in a child's pose. So coming down onto your mat, and your mat can be a yoga mat, a towel, really anything. It could even be a blanket. So whatever your child's pose looks like, you can bring your knees as wide as your mat into your midline and extend the arms forward, placing the forehead down onto the mat. Your hips, the bottom of your hip point should be on top of your heels or reaching towards them. And just start to come into your breath. Noticing the inhales and the exhales. Pressing your palms into the mat. Making sure that you have complete contact with it. If you have a blanket or a block, you can take a block underneath your forehead so that you can put it on the mat. Relax your forehead on it. You can bring a blanket or a bolster underneath your torso to give your spine a little more comfort. Just start to come, like I said, come into awareness of your breath. Maybe noticing the quality, maybe temperature. And then deciding to leave the breath how it is in this present moment. We're starting to deepen your inhalations and exhalations. If you'd like to practice Ujjayi breath, you can do that. And for that breath, you would breathe in through your nose, filling up, constricting in the back of your throat, and exhaling, letting it go through the nose, again constricting the back of the throat. So Ujjayi breath sounds like an ocean, kind of like Darth Vader. On an inhale, we're going to come up into tabletop pose. So hips are underneath, or over our knees rather, and wrists are under our shoulders. So just coming into your tabletop pose with a neutral spine, gazes down at your mat, at your fingertips, maybe lifting the knuckles off of the mat. Just breathing, attempting not to let your body weight sag down, really staying alive, not losing our energy. Maybe engaging Uddiyana Bandha slightly, pulling the belly button in and up. On an inhale, we're going to step back the right leg, bring it back into extension, coming onto the ball of that foot, moving the heel back towards the back of the room, stretching out your hamstring muscles. On an inhale, we're going to pop the right leg up to hip height, flexing through that foot, big toe pointed down. And just start to engage your abdominal muscles. And gazes down. Maybe extend left arm forward, gazing forward. A long line of energy, like someone's ripping your body apart. No, I'm just kidding. That is not yoga-like at all. Sorry, I'm thinking like Halloween horror movies and shit. Yes, so not like someone's ripping you apart, but just that someone's pulling you in opposite directions. On an exhale, release. We'll take it on the opposite side. Yeah, not a very trauma-informed yoga about people ripping people apart. Okay, so we're gonna step left leg back, coming onto the ball of that foot. Bring the heel back towards the back of your mat. Inhaling, lifting the left leg. Again, engage your core. Gaze is still at your mat. Remembering to breathe. Breathing's always good, right? On an inhale, extending the right arm long. Gaze is forward. Again, a long line of energy through the front and back of the body, all the way down. It's going in both directions. On an exhale, release. So we're going to come into some cat and cow poses. You might already know what that is. If you don't, for cat, today we're going to be black cats because Halloween. On an inhale, we're going to gaze up, tailbone lifts, dropping the belly down. And again, trying not to sag through the shoulders, really pressing the body and the head and neck up towards the sky. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest, cow pose. And today they're evil cows because Halloween. Inhale, black cat. Exhale, evil cow. Inhale, black cat pose. Exhale, evil cow. Inhale, black cat. Exhale, evil cow. Take a couple more of these flows at your own pace, following your breath. When you're ready to return back, we're going to come into some hip circles. Just moving the body in a circular motion, semicircle, or honestly any way that feels good to you. We are kind of rolling out the wrists, the hip joint, even the ankle. They're all kind of connected here through this movement. And then reversing the direction. Maybe feeling out any areas of the body that need some tending to. It could be tender or stiff, which I guess is kind of the same thing, right? Alright, so if you're moving around, gonna come into stillness. We're gonna thread the needle. So planting the left palm on the mat, inhale, reach right arm up and overhead, gaze up. And exhale, draw that hand underneath the left shoulder, bringing the right cheek down to the mat. So there's two ways that you can kind of relax in this pose. You can bring the left palm to the mat, elbow coming to a 90-degree angle within the entire arm. You can outreach that arm all the way up towards the top of your mat. Or you can come into a half bind, bringing that arm behind your back, either all the way reaching for your inner left thigh or just to the small of your back. So take your variation, whatever feels good for you. This is stretching out the shoulder, your spine, on an inhale, if your arm is anywhere else, we're going to bring the palm down to the mat, lift ourselves up, back into tabletop, take the opposite. On an inhale, we're going to launch that left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread it underneath the right arm. Again, coming down onto that shoulder. This time, left cheek comes down to the mat. Just relaxing that arm over to the right. And for this pose, we're really trying to get the shoulder more towards the midline of the mat rather than the left side to really activate that stretch. You can reach the hand up towards the top of your mat or behind. Or why are you opening up that door so creepily? You sound like a monster, which actually goes with our theme, so. A monster just came into our room and interrupted us, but that's okay. So ignore that and come back into your thread the needle pose. Again, your hands, your top arm can be at 90 degrees. Can be reaching up to the top of your mat or behind your back or in a half bind. And for your half bind, you want to move your shoulder away from your ear so that your shoulders are kind of coming closer towards each other, the scapula. So breathe here for a few breaths. When you're ready, we're going to plant that palm into the mat, coming back into our tabletop pose. Alright, so if you want to take any more movements, maybe another cat and cow, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we're going to plant the palms, tuck the toes, lift the hips for our first downward facing dog. So gaze is between the thighs, or the knees. Feet are about hip distance apart. Hands are shoulder distance apart or wider. Knees can be bent here, whatever feels best for you. You can walk out your dog, bending one knee, straightening the opposite. Just remembering to breathe. On an inhale, we're going to look at the top of our mat, at our hands, and step, jump, or float to come into your ragdoll. So feet should be hip distance apart. And just let your body hang down. It can be a generous bend through the knees. And shake the head yes, nod the head no. Yes, I like Halloween. No, I don't. Yes, I like it. No, I don't. Yes, I'm gonna dress up. No, I'm not. Just releasing that tension. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows and swing gently side to side, like a pendulum. So wherever you are, you can come back to center, coming into stillness. On an inhale, gently starting to lift up. Literally vertebrae by vertebrae, very slowly, until your head is the last thing to lift. Eyes can be closed, or they can be open. And we're coming into Samasthiti, our equal standing pose. Eyes closed, maybe swaying the body side to side, finding what point you feel centered, maybe front and back. Remembering to keep a slight bend through those knees. Once you feel you found yourself a little more grounded and centered, I invite you to gently blink the eyes open, coming back into your surroundings. On an inhale, we're going to bend the knees, lift the arms up and overhead into extended mountain pose. Gaze can go upwards, maybe slight back bend. On an exhale, we fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, we're gonna step our palms, walk our palms or whatever. Just put your palms on the mat. Step back into your downward facing dog. All right, from down dog, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up high towards the sky with all those witches in the sky. Come into three-legged dog, bending through that knee, bringing the right foot over towards the left, flexing. Maybe flip your dog here by turning over, bringing the right leg over to the left, extending right arm up and behind towards the top of the mat, lifting the hips up towards the sky. And exhale, flip back. If you took that move, on an inhale, we're going to lift left leg high from the three-legged dog. If you're in a limited space like mine, you might be hitting a wall. You can always move yourself off the mat a bit, if that's the case. Just breathe. Again, option to flip your dog. Flipping over, bringing the hips up, bringing left arm back towards the front of your mat, but away from your body. And exhale, flip back over, coming into downward facing dog. Again, you can pedal out your legs, whatever feels best for you. And on an inhale, we're going to lift up the right leg. Draw it in to the chest, in between the palms, coming into Warrior One. So for Warrior One, we're going to start with the foundation first. So back foot is at a 45-degree angle, front leg is at 90, hips are squared. And since we're doing Halloween yoga, we get to ride a broom. So bring your palms forward, relax the shoulders down. Really feel grounded through the feet. Pressing through the knife edge, that blade of the left foot. Gazes forwards. On an inhale, opening up to Warrior Two. Gazing over right middle finger. Drawing those scapula, the shoulder blades together, right in the back. Take another breath here. On an inhale, flip the palm, bring it up and overhead, reverse warrior. And exhale, we're going to windmill the palms down to the mat, stepping back into our high plank. Or, I'm sorry, downward facing dog. Don't listen to me. Alright, on an inhale, lift the left leg up. Pull it in through the chest, in between the palms. You can even walk that foot up there if you're having trouble. So coming into Warrior One again. Again, get your foundation all squared off. Hips are squared. Feet are firm in the mat. Not gripping too much, but enough that you're not sliding. 90-degree angle through the front leg, 45-degree angle on the back foot. And again, we're witches tonight, so we're gonna hold on to that broomstick that we're riding. So just gazing forward, breathing, feeling the wind rushing through your hair. Relaxing the shoulders down. On an inhale, opening up to Warrior Two. Gaze comes over that left middle finger. And Warrior Two, if you want to step the foot back a bit more, you can absolutely do that. Again, scapula are drawing together in the back. Inhale, flip the front palm. Bring the palm up and overhead, reverse warrior. Really feeling that contraction through the core. And exhaling, bringing the palms back down to the mat. Stepping back into downward facing dog. So in your down dog, take a couple of breaths. On an inhale, look at the hands, and you can walk hop or jump to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, flat back, shoulder blades draw towards each other. Hands can come to the shins, the knees, wherever they need to be. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, root to rise, extended mountain pose. Exhale, palms come to heart center. So, if you want to close your eyes here, you can. Maybe think of something that you're looking forward to for Halloween. Maybe what you're going to be dressing up as. Maybe you have plans with your friends. Just acknowledging something really fun, and it may not even be something that's a social interaction. It could be some really well-deserved self-care and time with yourself. Maybe watching Halloween movies, maybe reading a nice crime novel or something, mystery. And remind yourself how happy you are for giving yourself time for self-care practice such as yoga. And for letting yourself have fun this Halloween, however that looks to you. The eyes are closed, you can gently blink them open. We're going to do some bouncing poses. So we're going to start out with a bouncing pose where you can grab onto your foot, your big toe, or just onto your knee. So you're going to lift your leg, I'm going to move back. You're going to lift your leg up, right leg up to hip height, coming into 90-degree angle with the front leg. Flex that bottom foot. Inhaling, reaching left arm up and overhead. And you're going to walk right foot over to the right, left arm to the left, gaze left, and pick a drishti, a gaze point, so that you can hold your pose easier. And really pressing through the big toe, lifting up through your core, the center of your gravity. And if you fall, that's okay too. You can always come back. Remembering to breathe. On an inhale, walking it back to center. We're going to extend that right leg out in front of us and pulse the leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You can shake it out. Shake it out, do the monster mash, whatever fancies you. You can take it on the other side. Lift up the left leg this time, flexing through the foot, 90-degree angle. What I forgot to mention, you can also grab your toe, extend out, if that's within your practice. For this one, I'm going to move up because I can't twist into the closet. Yeah. So lifting up that left leg, flexing through the foot, bringing left leg out to the left, right arm out to the right, maybe touching a wall because you're in a small space. But just picking a drishti, a gaze point, to focus your gaze and remembering to breathe. Engaging the abs. Maybe feeling the shake, a little bit of instability, maybe falling out too. That's okay, you can always come back to it. Inhaling with control, bring it back to center. We're going to extend left leg long into extension and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Alright. So we're going to come into some little stretching poses and then finish it out with a little bit of meditation. So coming down onto the mat, extending the legs out long, come into staff pose. We're going to flex the feet, keep the chest nice and lifted up, heads aligned over the heart, over the pelvis, hands to the side near the hip joints on each one. And just gazing forward. Shoulder blades are drawing towards each other. Shoulders are down and back away from the ears. Take another couple of breaths here. On an inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And come into a forward fold. If you need to bend through the knees at all, you can totally do that. Exhaling, grabbing onto the shins, the ankles, the toes, the feet. Maybe if you have an ample amount of flexibility, you can also put a block in front of your feet in case you do, for an added stretch. And gazing at your feet or at your hands, if your hands are on your feet. Flexing through the feet. Really trying to hinge from the hips here with limited rounding through the spine. Take a few more deep breaths. Really acknowledging the stretch for what it is. You're stretching the hamstrings right now. For most stretches, you have to contract some muscles to allow the others to relax, so that is what we're doing. On an inhale, you can rise back up, and we're going to do a seated twist. So we're going to do the Board of the Fishes twist. So you can either leave your right leg extended or bring your right foot over towards your left hip point. We're going to take left foot over to the right. You can wrap your arm around, or you can take your right elbow to that left knee joint. You're going to swim left hand behind you and gaze to the left. So you're either like wrapping around and looking to the right, or kind of using that resistance and looking to the right. And just breathing. Maybe taking note of where the twist is originating and where it's occurring in your spine and body. On each exhale, maybe turning further, looking further behind you or to the side. Maybe taking note of how much of the twist is actually in your spine or in your neck. On an inhale, coming back to center. We're going to extend, come out of that. I'm going to bring left foot or the leg out in front of you, or the left foot over towards the right. Right foot comes towards the left side of the mat, crossing over the left leg. And now we're going to bring left arm around that right knee, or left elbow pressing into the right knee. And right arm swims behind, gazes over towards the right. So you want to start out slow, not shoot all the way to looking behind you. Take your time with it. Staying lifted up through the chest. Maybe twisting a bit further. Exhaling, release. We're going to come to lie on our backs. And we're going to come into evil baby pose. Because some babies are evil. Not really. Well, I guess in some movies they are, but yeah. I guess there was that one movie, Rosemary's Baby, or something like that. Yeah, that was an evil baby. So you can rock gently side to side. Maybe in a circle. Remembering to breathe. When you're ready, we're going to bring the feet down to the mat. Heels coming together so that the soles of the feet touch into Supta Baddha Konasana. Reclined cobbler's pose. And you can bring the hands wherever they feel comfortable. They can come onto your stomach, one hand on the stomach, one on the heart, or alongside your body, or any other way. I mean, whatever floats your boat. And just breathe here. Trying to let any tension go in the body that's not needed, besides where the muscles are contracting and stretching and lengthening. Take a couple more breaths here. And whenever you're ready, we're going to set up for Shavasana. So extend the feet out long towards both the corners of your mat, as wide as they can go. They can even go off the mat too. It's really however you feel comfortable. Arms can come alongside the body with the palms facing up or down. We're coming into corpse pose. Just start to allow yourself to relax, if that's within your realm of possibilities. Allow the body to release any tension that it may be holding on to. Allow the breathing to become nice and gentle. No need to force anything or change the breath. Just being whoever you are right now without trying to change anything. Some many times in the day we are worried about other things happening or about how we want to portray ourselves to the world, and we forget to just be. Just be and breathe and be who we're supposed to be, which is sometimes not doing anything, or not doing anything that has a certain goal in mind. So allowing the mind to relax as much as you can. I know it's hard. You're ready to come back to the world. You can, or you can remain here and come out of your Shavasana whenever you're ready. And start to wiggle the fingers if you are ready. Wiggle the toes. Maybe bigger movements through the ankles and the wrists. Maybe nodding the head and neck from side to side. Bringing the feet to the mat, roll over onto your right or left side into a fetal position. You take a breath here. On an inhale, taking your top arm to push you up into a seated position. So if you have your eyes closed, you can close them. If you want them closed, because you open them again, you can do that too. Take a couple breaths. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. On an inhale, bringing the arms up and overhead, maybe bumping into whatever is next to you. Palms come to touch. Draw them into our heart center, the heart chakra. Take another breath in and breath out. On an inhale, bringing the palms up to the third eye in between eyebrows, opening the palms up to allow the light in. We bow together. Namaste. Alright everyone, thanks so much for showing up today and practicing with me and trying out something I've never tried before, like throwing together like a tradition, holiday, and yoga. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I hope it wasn't too difficult to follow along when I was on the floor, because I don't really think you could see me all that well. Regardless, I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and enjoy your weekend. Alright, until next time, I'll see you.